Hey everybody, I'm Chris from the EcoFosh channel, and like my previous video where I compared this Mototec 60V Pro to the Razer Pro Spec, today we're comparing it to its biggest competitor, the Surron Lite B. So the reason we're comparing these two is because they're probably the most similar electric dirt bikes with the widest range of price. So today we're going to be comparing cheap versus expensive 60V electric dirt bikes. Surron Lite B
versus
Mototec 60V Pro. So one of the first things you notice with the difference between these two bikes is the size. This is more like a regular dirt bike. It's got 16-inch rear tires. I think it's got 19 in the front. And it's more like a regular full-size dirt bike. So if you're a kid, these, I see kids riding around on these and it just looks strange because it's a small kid on a big bike. And as if you may have seen in the news, they're crashing into people, hurting people, and they've even had people killed by these. And these bikes are starting to get a reputation for being dangerous. And they are. It's a big, heavy bike. This battery is very big. It's very cumbersome. It's not super easy to carry around. These batteries are super expensive. This battery costs almost as much as this bike. These things are heavy. It's got a full, I think it's aluminum frame here. You'd think it'd be light, but it's so honking, and between the battery and the motor, it's not exactly a light bike. Where this bike is made very simply. I think it's got a 12-inch rear tire. It's a tube construction on the frame, and it's a pretty light bike. And that's one of the things I like about it. I can pick this up and throw this into the back of my SUV super easily, where I have fit this in the back of my SUV, but I needed to have the seats down and tuck it very specially. It was a little bit tricky. It can be done, but it's a lot more cumbersome. These are both a 60V, like I said. They both have removable batteries. This battery actually locks with a key, which is nice, and has a digital readout, which is a little bit more responsive and reads out a little bit clearer than this, which just has a very basic voltage readout, which kind of drops a lot while you're throttling, so it's not as clear and straightforward on the battery voltage. This has a very simple rear sway arm, just a single bar here, and a very simple suspension with this shock, where this has a very creative rear suspension joint here. So that's nice. One of the things I don't like about this one is the fact that it's got this weird gearbox thing where the motor drives into a gearbox, and then that gearbox drives the chain back to the wheel. And I think it's got like a number 30 chain or something. It's a smaller chain. This actually has a similar situation, but different. This has a belt drive coming off the motor into this countershaft. This countershaft doohickey here that's on a separate axle. And, it's belt driven from here to here, and then it's chain driven with like a thick 420 motorcycle chain to the back wheel, which is nice as far as reliability, but it's a lot of energy spinning this chain that's kind of wasted, and it's a lot of heft. But here's another component that can go bad that you got to service. So that's not super nice. I like these direct drive motors like on the Razer Pro Spec. If you're looking to do a bunch of modifications, these are a lot more moddable. There's a lot of parts for them. Aftermarket wheels, aftermarket brakes. These both have hydraulic brakes, but you can get Fox shocks for these things. You can get a lot of different parts for these. These Surron throttles, they're really nice, and they're so nice that people throw these on lots of these bikes. This has a very simple half twist throttle. You can get it in full twist, but that's definitely an upgrade I would do to this one. It's not something that I would go buying this just for. This is a nice bike, but it's $4,000. So the question is it 4 times better than this? Well, I don't think so. The seat's nicer on this. It's got a nice frame and doesn't have the fairings, where these fairings are kind of, they're fine, but they kind of stick out and they're a little cheesy. So I don't love these fairings, but it's nice that it has them. I don't like this look where this thing's all open. Doesn't look quite like a dirt bike, doesn't look quite like a bicycle. As far as top speed goes, believe it or not, these two bikes have a very similar top speed. Now that's stock. Obviously, if you put in a different controller, or maybe there's some way to tune it out, but this thing tops out at 40, and this tops out at about 37. So if I had $1,000 and I wanted to go fast, I'm buying this thing, because this will get you just as fast as this. Even if I had $4,000 in my pocket, I'd probably go buy 2 of these. I've got 2 of these small electric dirt bikes, and that's what I decided to do with my money instead of sinking every penny I had into this, because you could buy a car for $4,000. A lot of the cars I've had have been a lot less than $4,000. So is it worth spending all your money on this? I don't know. Have you seen all these videos on YouTube of police pulling people over and pulling kids over on these and impounding these? I've seen a bunch of these bikes get impounded. I'd sure as heck rather have $1,000 bike get impounded than a $4,000 bike. I've even seen some people with the modded razors get theirs confiscated and impounded, and they have like $875 bills racked up for impound fees pretty quickly. Where if you left it there for a while you save the money, soon you'd have $1,500 of impound fees. Well, if you have this, you're going to have to pony up $1,500, $2,000 to get your $4,000 bike back. Or if you rack up enough impound fees, just go buy a new one of these and leave that bike in the impound lot. So, with these being as risky as they are right now, I'd go with the light bike. It's a little bit easier to control. It's probably a little bit safer too. If this thing falls over on you, it's so light and small, probably not going to hurt that much. Certainly shouldn't be riding these around pedestrians, but if you happen to hit one, I'd rather get hit with this one than this. I don't know if you've seen in the news, but recently a pedestrian was killed by a kid who was riding one of these Surrons, and the parents are going to get charged with that.
A beloved Vietnam War veteran and teacher has died 2 weeks after he was allegedly hit by a teen on an e-motorcycle.
Now the teen's mother is facing manslaughter charges. CBS LA's Nicole Comstock with the charges and the heartbreak from friends of the victim.
After a 2-week-long fight for his life, treasured Vietnam veteran and Orange County teacher Ed Ashman has died. This after prosecutors say a 14-year-old boy illegally riding a powerful e-motorcycle hit Ashman while he was walking home from school and left him in the street.
So I wouldn't buy my kid one of these, where I probably wouldn't have that big of an issue giving my kid one of these. They seem a little bit more reasonable. One difference is that this has a little bit better. This has a brake light and a headlight, which is real nice. You can get a couple of other upgrades. These both have keyed ignitions, which is great. This keyed ignition is built a little better. It's hidden inside the frame, which, as I talked about on my previous video, this keyed ignition is kind of a little cheesier. These both have speed controls. You can tune this one down if you're giving this to a kid and you want it to have a lot less power, where these do have a sport mode switch and a non-sport mode, but it's still got a lot of power out of the box. Even on low, this probably has close to the amount of takeoff as this does when it's tuned up high, but this has still got plenty of power. You can actually pull these up into a wheelie. I mentioned in my previous video that it doesn't snap up automatically, but after riding it for a while, I realized it really does. If you get on the throttle, this thing will pick the front wheel up. But I did try to take off on this and accidentally pull the wheel up. So this definitely has more power. Can't remember what these are. It's either like, I think it's like 3,000 or 4,000 watt on this motor, where this is 2,000. But I mean, let's be honest. These things, a lot of kids are buying these, and you don't need to buy your kid a 4,000 watt electric dirt bike, in my opinion. So here's our breakdown chart I used in our last video. Here we can kind of look at things at a glance. We can look at cost, the power difference, the differences in the batteries. The top speed is very minimal difference. Obviously, one's got more power than the other one. The Light B has more power, and it also weighs, 30 more pounds, which is not, unsubstantial. It's about 33% more than the Mototec. It's obviously got bigger tires, and the seat ride height is quite a bit different. It's almost, I think it's more than 6 inches, so it's pretty big difference. The Surron, I'm actually kind of surprised that its weight limit is 220. That's the same weight limit as the Razor Pro Spec, and the Razor Pro Spec's only $1,800. It's obviously not quite as fast as the Mototec, but if you're a big guy, you don't need to go for for one of these big bikes. There are cheaper versions, and I'm almost 200 pounds, and I do ride the Mototec, so the weight limit isn't totally set in stone if you are a bigger guy. But I definitely think that the Mototec is good for kids and small adults that just want to have some fun. And the Surron, I definitely would not buy it for kids. It's definitely more of a motorcycle or a bike meant for long jumping or big heavy people that want to go super fast. Definitely not a kid's toy. So I don't know which you're spending your money on. I probably wouldn't spend my money on this. I just grabbed this so I could have some fun. I drive around on this with me and my kid all around the yard. I've even taken this up north into northern Maine and ripped it around. Ripped around the dirt, the sand pits and stuff. And I love this thing. This thing's a lot of fun, and I only got $1,000 into it. Where this, I'd rather spend my extra $3,000 on extra batteries for this, or parts for my other projects. If this video was helpful to you guys, make sure to give me a thumbs up. Let me know what you thought in the comments below. Subscribe if you're not already. Check out some of my other videos on e-bikes, and I'll catch you guys next time.